So I have my pretty teacups. This one I got from Home Goods. I love butterflies, anything with butterflies. And this one is from my Lenox from my China set that, I will use when I am nominated for sainthood. It's one of those things where I love this pattern, I love this China set, but I have two kids. I don't know why I was thinking China set, but anyway, I have my pretty teacups, and we're going to talk about beauty uses that you can use the tea in your home that you probably already have for different types of things. The first one is toners. Now, I already did a video last week on all the different ways you can make your own toners. So at the end of this video, there's going to be a link on toners. And if you have any questions on it, please let me know. Another thing you can do is take green tea, chamomile, rooibos, black tea, whichever tea you prefer, and rinse your hair with it. You want to shampoo and condition as normal. Brew your tea, let it cool, let it go through your head, massage it, let it sit for a couple minutes, and then rinse it out. It's supposed to be very good for dandruff, very good if you have hair loss too, or psoriasis, or any type of inflammations of the scalp. I've seen other videos and things online that they recommend apple cider vinegar and baking soda on your scalp. And here's the thing, if you have a dry scalp, you have teeny tiny little microscopic cuts all over your scalp, pouring vinegar, which is acidic, into it might not be your best bet. Not to mention that one is not good for color treated hair too. And be careful, if you have dandruff, it's different than having a dry scalp. Dandruff is oily. Dandruff is like a yellow tone of the flakes. And if you treat a dry scalp like you would dandruff, you'll actually make it worse. So double check with your dermatologist. Make sure that you don't have one or the other when you go in to treat your scalp. You can also use your tea, especially your black tea, as a foot soak. What you want to do is boil tea, let it steep, and soak your feet in it. It's really good to help neutralize odor that's caused by sweat too, and help bring back the pH level without, irritating your feet too, or anything along the lines of that. It's also, if you're doing a homemade pedicure, it's a great option too for that. Tea is also recommended if you use henna on your hair. Now, most hairstylists are going to cringe when I mention henna. Henna is a stain. Henna is red based. The only way to ever color correct henna is to go darker, because you can't bleach it out. But if you're playing around with it at home, black henna is supposed to black tea is supposed to counteract, I think, brassiness in henna. Green tea is also supposed to help too. So a lot of people who are doing like the clear henna mask, add tea to it, add egg to it, If you have it in your home, why not? See what happens. But bear in mind though, any colored henna is a stain. It will stain your clothes. It will stain your tile. It is a pain to deal with that way. But in all honesty, when I used to use henna back in the day, it really did help with frizz. I'm not gonna lie. It really did make my hair shiny too. And it didn't change the texture of it, because I've done the keratin. My eyes are really sensitive, so I'm not a fan of it. And it changes the texture of your hair. It makes it like so you have to flat iron it to keep it, and the henna didn't. So that's another thing to consider. You can also use black tea as a self-tanner. Want to brew it, let it sit, let it cool down. Spray it like a normal self-tanner. Let it sit a couple minutes so it develops, and then rinse it off too. Because remember back in the day when you used to make the projects on how to make your paper look older, and you'd soak it in tea and you'd soak it in coffee. That kind of idea will work as a self-tanner too. Another thing you can do is use your tea in facial masks to give it a boost. Powdered tea or vitamin C powder are what spas use to give that extra boost to their products too. That's readily available. You can brew your tea, add the liquid to it, or if you want a little bit of an exfoliant, you can open your tea bags and use the tea bags themselves to give your facial mask a boost too. I also have a video on how to use your leftovers as beauty treatments. Bear in mind, I made it around Thanksgiving time, so if it doesn't go around for this time of year, you know, hold on to it. It will work for around Thanksgiving time, but I'll put the link at the end of it. Now, you've heard of oatmeal baths for dry, itchy skin. If you have tea and you already want to calm down eczema, throw in your tea bags to your oatmeal bath. It will also help calm down your skin too. Chamomile's a great one, green tea, white tea, anything that's typically soothing that's found in your natural care aisles would work for that too. And I honestly, when I throw my tea bags in the bathtub, I just throw my tea bags in the bathtub and let it sit and let it go from there, and just drain it and do whatever else I'm doing. But I find that it does help calm down inflammation. Tea bags also work for if you have sunburn too. You can place them on your skin. I recommend green or white, just a preference. You can do it with them cold, like put them in the fridge for a couple minutes, or do them like lukewarm too. They also save your tea bags, squeeze them out, stick them in your freezer. They're great as a mask for puffy eyes too. You can also, if you have cheesecloth at home or anything along the lines of that, take your tea, take a couple different herbs that you have around, and make kind of like an eye pillow out of it. It depends on how crafty you are, but it's also a great option. You can use tea in body scrubs. You can make your own scrub with loose tea, tea from the tea bags, salt, sugar, olive oil, whatever you have in your home. Get creative. It's there and you might as well use it. Too, you can also make serums out of tea as well, and as well as makeup setting spray too. You want to take the toner idea that I'll leave the link to and add glycerin to it, and that will help with that if you have oily skin. I just use it as a regular toner and spray it too to help set my makeup. You can also, to use your tea in your cleansers too to give them a boost, you can use the green tea powder, or of course, yet again, the loose tea. Mix it into your cleanser, let your cleanser sit and rinse it off too. That will also work as a mild exfoliant for your skin as well. Another thing, if you do homemade facials at home, it's not going to give you the same results as a salon steamer, because the steam there's just more steam. It's 3 oxygen molecules which help open up the pores too, and you're not stuck temperature regulating it, but you can use your tea to help steam your face. You want to put your tea bags or your loose tea in the pot, bring it up to a boil. When you start to see the little bubbles, move it aside, let it sit for a couple minutes because you don't want anything too hot near your skin, and then steam. This is also great for if you're sick and you're congested and you need that to open up your sinuses too. And you can't. I would also recommend facials for if you have a head cold, believe it or not, because the steam and the massage and the hot towels help open up that. But if you're at home and you can't go and do that, you can help steam your skin and do it that way. You can also open up your tea Use tea, baking soda, honey, and I believe yogurt as a facial mask too. Plain yogurt. And that's another way. That's one of those things. One of my friends from India does that, and she adds turmeric to it to help even out her skin tone. You can also make your own body sprays using tea. You want to steep your tea for a couple minutes, add your essential oils to it, and that'll be a great way to refreshen your skin, you know, coming in and out of summertime or anything along the lines of that. Some teas are great for minor cuts and bruises too. The hair rinse, though, I've been reading online, you want to brew your tea, leave your tea bag sit overnight, and then use it as a hair rinse too. But if you have any suggestions or comments or any ideas that I did not touch on, please leave it in the comment section below. I'm going to try to type this out on WordPress too and leave a link for that way so it's an easier reference. But thank you, and I hope you enjoy tea time wherever you're at.